What's good with the YouTube? You already know Big Flacco with a convict's perspective, and I'm smashing, dashing, sliding on through. A little bit of energy, man. Top of the morning, man. So I figured I'd do this video before I head out, man. It's been a long time, I guess, coming, just to basically clear the air about, what's really going on, that some stuff people may not know, because recently I've seen a couple of videos of people coming out that were not in the know, people I didn't even deal with, that kind of stirred the pot a little bit, man. And the comment section and whatnot. So let's get to the facts of everything, man. And I hope this video will kind of clarify and maybe vindicate maybe most of all of us in some senses, man. And how being misinterpretations, not being withholding information that could be key for people's knowledge and stuff could really cause friction and tension and so forth, man. Transparency is really key, man. And people have came at me and felt like, Flox, I don't know why everybody goes after you. Then I've had people say that I'm all drama. I've had both sides, but nobody really knows the truth of how a lot of things developed, and how, my reaction to everything is there's a cause and effect for everything. So you're going to react to certain things. And so let's start off with the main focal point. And you know what, man, I'm trying to do this to clear the air with certain people. You know what I'm saying? And so what stemmed from the first incident, issues, right, where everything started to develop, goes back to December of last year. Okay. Now this is when Gunner from Gunner's Collective was going at it. He had Triple OG on his fucking helmet, every fucking video, and he was going through it, man. And Gunner can't deny this. I was there to be a anchor of support. I was ready to rock with any of them, you know what I mean? And me and Gunner have had minor indifferences, but I never took it too personal. I don't think he did. I think a lot of other people took it more personal than what it needed to be. But at this time, man, there was a lot of stuff going on, man. And I called him one day, and he talked about how he had some Russian dude that was gonna fucking locate who Triple OG was, and all kinds of stuff, right? And he went into that. I'm like, I thought the conversation was legit. Maybe, I don't know if it was legit or not, to be honest with you. Okay, but he said that he got located, this and that, and that he feels like he knows who it is now, and he starts getting distant with me, and he goes, my heart's broken and whatnot, and he just cut me off talking to me, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I call Rojo up. I go, man, I think dude's tripping off me, bro. I go, man, call him up, man. I go, you mean, let me see if he's tripping off me and all that. So Rojo calls him up, and he's tripping off me a little bit. He thinks that maybe me and a couple other YouTubers, because we don't get attacked by OG Triple OG, and one of them's taking shots at him all the time, but I'm always the peacemaker that maybe we're in cahoots against him. And this was nothing was true about it, man. And I'm like, I'm hearing it, and I'm telling Rojo, man, you gotta tell him, bro. And he goes, let fucking Gunner go through his little feelings at the moment, man. It'll all be good. But then there was a time period after that where he thought even Rojo was involved. And then in February, there was that live, if everybody remembers, where he just jumped off right when I got on. And then he made a comment, and I put something about the trolls, whoa, 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 right? And because I was really upset because I'd done nothing to this dude. And he thought maybe, I don't know if he thought I was trolling. He came in later saying that he was not addressing me. He thought it was Trill 209 that he was addressing, that I misinterpreted. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Sometimes people react and they backtrack and they give another reason. And that's how I felt at the moment. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, that was directed at me, I felt. And also other people felt the same thing, And so I made a comment, and I said something about, like, I'm not calling you a bitch, but you're acting like a bitch if you think I trolled you. And that's all I said to you. You know what I mean? Because I think calling someone a bitch is a harsh fucking word to use. But if you're acting like a bitch, there's a difference. Doesn't mean I'm calling you a bitch, but you're acting like one. And I said you could have got at me one-on-one if you felt anything. Because I was upset because I was there to support him. Okay. So afterwards, I'm like heated, man. Rojo's trying to contact me. Gunner wants to talk to me, but Gunner just did a live that he took down where he was talking shit afterwards. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, have that same energy when you see me. You know what I'm saying? Have that same energy. And, I felt a certain way about it. You know what I'm saying? Which I should have. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to have no conversation, because when I heard the stuff in December and that he thought he said, you know what I mean, I remember the conversation. Him and Sin City thought maybe it was me and him, and even Sin City admitted that to me later on. And I'm not gonna mention some channels, right? But and so I'm pissed off about it. Fuck that, man. Like I was there to ready rock with you, bro. I was ready to defend you. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. I'm loyal. If I'm loyal to you, I'm loyal to you. And none of them can deny what I'm saying on this, right? And this is not saying anything bad about anybody. It's just let's look at what really happened, you know, too, so people get a clearer understanding. So from there, you know, about a day or two after this, I see them advertising, promoting the Rojo room. And I'm thinking in my head, like, I'm Rojo's partner. This dude just blatantly, this dude disrespected me. Because his actions were disrespectful at that time. At least in my eyes and in a lot of people's eyes. You were talking shit on the fucking live about me. You know what I'm saying? And so, from there, I seen it and I'm like, fucking, I told Rojo that night and he didn't address it. I said, man, I can't do this fucking convict's perspective, bro, because in my eyes is, if you let someone disrespect me and then you go jump on lives and you're supporting that, then you're not respecting me as your partner. And I think anybody would agree with what I'm saying there. And so I waited. Rojo never gets back to me. And that's Rojo, though. Rojo's very passive. He waits till sometimes he doesn't want to address things. And maybe this is something he should address from the get-go when I told him my concerns. He shouldn't have ignored him. Because to me, I felt insulted and offended. Okay? So, later on, that day, next day, since I'm going to grab his attention now. Okay? Now, the convict's perspective is attached to my email that I've had personally in that channel for years, and it has all my fucking personal shit. You know what I'm saying? And so it's basically my email. I gave him access to it, right? So I locked him out because that's the only way I'm gonna get his attention to address this issue. And when I locked him out, it was only a temporary to get his attention. So he called me and I'm telling him how I feel about it. Well, fuck, what are we gonna do here? I don't feel like I can do this channel no more. If you're not gonna respect me as your partner, because if someone disrespects you, I told him, I'm gonna fucking either fix this situation or I can't fuck with them. Because that's the type of motherfucker I am. I'm gonna be loyal to those that are my business partners. Because you have to, because image is everything. That's what I told him. I go, I don't give a fuck, you fuck with them. I go, but for now, it's gonna make you look like I'm fucking, every time you guys have issues, you guys 186 all these people. You guys have your own little fucking circles. But now for me, it doesn't matter. It has to be the same across the board. He tripped on me for fucking no reason, I told Rojo, and you know it. And but Rojo was like, you know, I'm just trying to get my money. You're blocking me out. You're strong arming me. No, I'm not trying to strong arm you because you ignored it, bro. I go, whether I'm right or wrong, it doesn't matter. But this is exactly what happened, though. And I'm like, look, bro, this is my email. This is my personal shit. If I can't rock with you, then I got to go. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here doing this because we can figure this out. Either you stay on the channel for a couple months. I'll do a video every day and a live every day. We were doing okay at that time. And fucking give you half of it while you work on your Rojo channel to fucking build it. I told him straight up like that. And, he was mad because I locked him out. But I only locked him out for 3 hours and I fucking unlocked him. It was to the point, man. And we had came to an agreement. I said, look, bro, I don't care if you talk to him, but let's let everything subside because image is everything. If fucking Gunner's talking shit, was tripping out, paranoid for a second that I was doing this and that, it's going to eventually come out that I wasn't. I go, but right now people are going to sit there and question that, okay, why is Rojo letting homeboy disrespect his partner? Am I right or wrong, guys? And so Rojo eventually did agree with it. Okay. Now at that time, there was some issues that were going on with when I was in contact with somebody. They get hemmed up, allegedly went to the hole. I don't know how legit they were or whatnot. And some stuff transpired and shit, right? And I ended up cutting this dude off because he was acting like a fucking maniacal weirdo. And I have all the messages. People like Toko seen this. People like fucking Farmetto seen this. People like fucking even Rojo seen this. And that's why I was surprised at something I heard later on, because everything was always put out there and shown. You know what I'm saying? Like, to cover my ass, I would fucking say, look, I need to fucking cover my ass on this shit because this is what's going on. And I'm glad I did, because there's everybody that remembers all this happening, even the homeboy Mad Max. You know what I'm saying? So when all that happened, I get the next day I get a fucking call, and this dude I had cut off, he was acting fucking weird, like a straight weirdo. And so I cut the dude off completely. Like, You know, I tried to help this person because I thought they were a young man that got drunk and started sending fucking photos to wrong people. And I told someone that was one of our resources out there that was pretty much connected, that they were asking about her, so she started reaching out to this dude. And in the process of that, you know what I'm saying? In the process of that, like you guys heard in that recent video, a photo of me got sent to this fucking weirdo. And it came to fucking find out whether it's true or if this was a game. This dude was fucking allegedly maybe having some type of fucking weirdo shit going on with his celly. Now, I cut the dude off. The dude says that he has this and that, but you know what I mean, about with me, but there was no texts, there was no nothing to prove fucking anything. The dude was full of shit because the dude fucking acted like he fucking whatever liked me. I cut the dude off, which I've showed my Patreon members, I've showed other people this, right? But this dude elected to get at Rojo and stuff, right? And this is when Rojo had agreed to cut off Gunner for a little bit. And next you know, Rojo's telling me, he goes, you know, hey, someone reached out to Gunner, which there's more to this story than what meets the eyes. If you've seen the transcript, you know what I'm talking about. And Gunner says he has this, and I'm laughing at Rojo. I'm like, man, fuck that. No disrespect to the gatekeeper. I'm like, fuck that fucking fag, man. I go, that motherfucker's full shit. I go, that dude sent me weird fucking shit. Man, I ain't tripping off whatever fucking Gunner says this dude gave him, because there was nothing I did wrong. The picture never came from me. It came from someone else that was mad at me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm over there, and the dude never submitted any fucking. So finally I call Gunner, I talk to him, he goes, yeah, and Gunner tells me, nah, there was nothing. This dude claimed this, and I goes, Gunner talked about, he sent him a weird picture too. I said, yeah, that's why I cut that dude off, bro. I go, I ain't even tripping off it, man. I go fucking, you know what I'm saying? And I go from there, you know what I'm saying? I talk to the other person, our contact. I said, man, can you find out from that? Because she used to talk to that dude too, right? You know what I'm saying? And she reached out and she got the screenshots. But I thought they were going to be Gunner's conversations. No, they were someone else's conversations. And that's when I found out that pretty much, you know, something was in the process. They were trying to use, he wanted to have something to have leverage over me. And, you know, according to other people later on, you know, I mean, I have those screenshots still to this day. That's why, I mean, I saved those receipts. I had to. And the thing is that that's when everything started to get real tensed up. You know? I'm like, and I was like, fuck, man, I can't believe this shit, man. Like, and I didn't understand why. You know what I'm saying? Like, the 3-hour lockdown, that was only me to get his attention. But I find out later on that people took that personal. And that's when people started to allegedly look for things to fucking go against me with. And that's why a lot of people didn't come forward on a lot of stuff, I think. Now, I seen all those, and I'm like, motherfucker. And I even told him, I go, man, and he said, oh, well, I was mad because you fucking locked me out the channel. I said, I wasn't going to lock you out permanently, bro. I needed to get your attention, I told him. So I thought everything was good. I thought everything with fucking Gunner was good. And then next thing you know, I started real talk because he's focused on this other channel over here. And so I was blowing up pretty good. And, you know, Rojo was doing good on lives, but I was getting a lot of views. And initially it was supposed to be, you know, I'll do content if he's busy, but he can do the lives. It's just started to be more about the Rojo Room lives for Rojo, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So from there, Triple G was being cool. I said, you know what, man, I'm not gonna, I only wasn't fucking with these people because it was their pedo. He don't know me. Maybe, let me see if he is who he is. And so we started communicating. We chopped it up, and he was cool. You know, he'd go through his little drunk stages and switch up sometimes, but for the most part, seemed like he was being, like his intentions were what they were supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And so from there, you know, I started conversating, and I thought, you know, dude was cool. And, you know, he's posting positive comments. His content got a little better for that. He wasn't just taking shots at people. And, you know, I was basically defending Gunner and Rojo to him. And then that's how they started chopping it up with him. And, you know, and everybody else did. So once again, I initiated contact with someone, so probably it fucking shitted in my face. And then next thing you know, that's when that fucking pick and all that bullshit happened. And I'm like, wow. And it didn't dawn on me. I mean, there's only so many places where that could have came. The dude that was fucking like a weirdo, that got it from the one person, gave that to fucking them and that. And I've heard it was maybe this person. You know what I'm saying? But nobody's telling me shit about it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. Now, nobody wanted to respond to him because they didn't want to get attacked by fucking Triple G. And then that narrative was put out there. You know what I'm saying? About fucking allegedly to his fucking lady and this and that. When he never mentioned that again after they were broken up. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what the agenda of that was. Now, from what I was told, that it was one particular channel that recently I have issues with, and I even confronted this person, and that the story was spun by someone else, by one of the other persons. I'm thinking, what the fuck, man? And this dude's telling me stuff that there's no way that he could be fucking, that he could know unless he was talking to somebody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, well, these motherfuckers, man. And so I'm over there fucking paying attention to it, and I'm like, wow, why did this happen all of a sudden when fucking Real Talk with Flacco was getting hella views? I was showing everybody I could just do this shit on my own. And then I'm thinking, and then when that picture situation came out, y'all know what really happened. Why didn't any of you guys come forward? You guys seen all the fucking screenshots, and that's what made the issue with me, is everybody knew all this stuff that happens. I sent everything, and they knew the fucking different fucking this and that. And, I'm keeping tabs with everybody, and I'm just wondering. And then what I'm hearing later on from the other people is that they were talking about this beforehand and showing people beforehand. So why am I not supposed to feel like people are out to get me? You know what I mean? There's two people that were unaffiliated with any channel that I know that no one knew that I was going to end up being cool with and really in contact, that where they told me the whole rundown of what was said to them and what was shown to them before that picture was even put out there. And another person who I've had a long extended business rapport told me the same fucking thing. And that's why he was distanced. And once I showed them all this shit like this, they were like, fuck, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. They couldn't understand it. And so that's what was going on in my mind, was I'm dealing with all this, hoping that people will fucking clear the air and fix this fucking the truth. Instead, nobody's saying shit because for whatever reasons, and I've given the benefit of the doubt on all. I started, and see, at the time, I'm gonna tell you guys, man, I was so naive that I never thought that the people that were allegedly put forth and putting that picture out there I was looking to them for support, and I was wondering why I wasn't getting the support, because allegedly they were behind it. Allegedly they were behind it. And this was during the time frame of if you notice, during that time frame, people that used to fuck with my channel and so forth stopped tapping in. So I'm being told that certain rumors were being circulated, you know what I'm saying, because some of those people that were told certain rumors, and then when I showed them everything, it wasn't what was being said. I don't know, for whatever reason. I didn't know if for whatever reasons, it just wasn't making sense, And so all this is the truth, and I don't think any one of them will deny it. And I'm not even saying certain things that so fast track. And I was going through some shit at that time, guys, some personal shit, and that's what's fucked up about it, is that going through personal shit, sometimes our judgments are not always up to par where they should be. But my intentions were never malicious or ever to fucking, go after or fucking put anybody on Front Street, because I was never going to do that. You know what I'm saying? At all. But when I got people who fucking don't know nothing that are talking about this and talking about that, that pisses me off. You know what I mean? When other people know the truth, or at least know what I was showing them. You know what I'm saying? And there was someone that was playing games with them, I think. You know what I'm saying? So, anyhow. So that occurs, and okay, I'm ready to let go, and that's when all this other shit happened, man. You know what I'm saying? And with one of the other channels, and then that we've talked afterwards, and a lot of that, if we would have been in contact, there would have been a mutual understanding. People would have related. We understood why certain things looked a certain way, and what each person's gripe was. And people to this day don't realize that. You know what I mean? That we've known each other for so long. It was more of a hurt factor than it was of a positive factor. And that's why I started to fucking just do as I went, because I was like, man, I never did nothing to fucking fuck with you. Why are you fucking with me? And that's how I felt. Because communication is key to things. And there wasn't no communication for some other reasons. You know what I mean? And that's not to put blame on me or them. It's just what happened. And if there would have been proper communication, none of this shit would have ever happened. You get what I'm saying? And, that was what happened, the beef in the summertime. And as that's happening, everybody's starting to do their own thing. You know what I'm saying? And see, you know, the one thing I was looking for was, why isn't anybody supporting me knowing really what happened? And that's what my issue was. And so when I went off my own, I just started to do my own thing. Fuck it, ACP, I'll do my own thing. You know, after Rojo left, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's a reason why I'm feeling what I'm feeling at that time. You know, and that's when all this other stuff started to develop. And it started to frustrate me because people were using certain things that people fucking said. There was rumors in the fucking comments and all this shit. And it's like, some of it I probably did myself. But you know what? If people would have fucking defended me and like they do everybody else, right from wrong, and told the truth from the get-go, I would have never went on Tony's My Stories Written Current Affairs, like Current Prisoners, talking about all that when I was fucking so flustered and frustrated that nobody was fucking there to support me. Like, I felt I needed to fucking explain it because there was so much shit that was fucking misinformed that nobody was knowing, that it fucking was fucking with my head. You mean, you try to have a fucking, your kids and so forth, some of the stuff that was being said, see that in videos and stuff, man. And see, that's the fucked up thing about it is people should have considered people's families and all that. They should have been there to be supportive, because I would have supported anybody in that nation. I'm not speaking bad. That's me. Whether there's drama or not, if you're being fucked over and being misclassified, right? I'm going to fucking defend you then. I'm not going to fucking leave you out there on a thread. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reasons, I'm not going to sit there and say anybody did anything wrong. That's just my opinion. That's who I am as a person. You know what I'm saying? And that's why there was so much frustration on my part for so many months, because I know certain things, man, that's not out there, that I don't want to put out there, because some people are going to look at people bad. Some people may look at me bad on it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't give a fuck if it's looked at me bad, as long as the truth's out there. Not this fucking miscalculated truths and whatnot, people spinning their narratives and whatnot, or people remaining quiet. You know what I'm saying? So basically, that's the extent of where all this shit initiated, and why sometimes it seems like fucking, on my end, that I feel like people have, you know, not been supportive when they should have. They should have. You know what I'm saying? There's no denying it. You know what I'm saying? And there's certain things that people knew. Whether true or not, that's the thing, is as a partner in this business, I was always one to support what any of them said. If you tell me this is it, I got your back on it. But it was never reciprocated to me. You know what I'm saying? So once the ACP, I started doing my own thing again. You know? And then you just start randomly getting attacks. And it's a struggle sometimes right now. Everybody's getting shadow banned, it seems like. Views are going down and whatnot. And you know, everything starts to look a certain way because of past actions. You know what I'm saying? And what I've said here today is facts. All of them knew about all this stuff, but no one said anything, and they should have. Because I'm showing also certain things that were being trolled, that were mentioning my wife's work, locations that were symbolic to someone else's writing, and I'm showing them and no one's saying shit. But at the same time, they're 186 in Iron Bear, or they're pushing this person on hold, and I'm showing you fucking facts of their fucking writing, and someone trying to troll me and speaking on my wife. And that bugged me too. Like, okay, where's that same energy? If right is right, wrong is wrong, this is wrong right here, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is wrong. You don't do that. And see, that's where everything started to escalate. And it's the same thing with the other homie. Things started to escalate where they shouldn't have went. You know what I'm saying? I didn't just elect just to interview Snoop, who I'm good with Snoop. I've got, you know what I mean? And I've even have different opinion. I have no opinion on some of the past things between him and one individual, because no one was there for the present. And it could, and like I told them, I said, how do we know if things didn't get misconstrued or misinterpreted? What allegedly you're saying happened, but yet you weren't there. I'm not calling anybody a liar, and I've explained that. I said, but what I've heard and what I've known from talking to people, that's not the MO, because no one else has ever came forth. I said, so I'm not going to sit there and say that they're lying. How do we know that this may have not been misinterpreted? You weren't there. And I said that respectfully. I said, I hope I don't hurt your feelings by saying that. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But if we had been on good terms at the time, I would have never elected to interview him out of respect for him. But it wasn't good at that time. And it should have been good. And so that's why I went there. If, you know, why am I going to pass? This is business then. And that's where I went with that. And so that opened me up for attacks. You know what I'm saying? I have to go off facts. I can't go off assumptions. I can't go off hearsays. I can't do none of that stuff. And so that right there was one of the things. Was someone said, well, look at some of the moves you're making. And I'm thinking in my head, well, I'm interviewing him. Why not? You know You know what I mean? If there's been issues and there's been shit talking, why wouldn't I interview him? It makes, you know what I mean? And so, you know, that issue eventually there was issues there and stuff, you know what I mean? But that was never me. If we would have been on good terms and some of the mud that wasn't slung, I would have never interviewed him. And that's the truth. And I told him that. But by then, I go, look what you were telling me at this time. And there's an understanding there. You know what I'm saying? And normally, I'm a very loyal person. You know what I mean? If I rock with you, I rock with you. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't feel that the same stuff was being reciprocated. I thought people were fucking tripping off some shit that they shouldn't have been tripping off. Pushing agendas. You know, there was a whole thing. And like I said, we talked and we realized where the fucking, what went wrong. And they understood it. And I understood it on my end. And it was basically about, you know, one of the persons that we were being told the information, like I said before, which came basically from someone who had a position at a certain prison within the Federal Bureau of Prisons, the BOP, that would be in the know of this, who gave us information on the Operation Quiet Storm indictment before anybody had it. Now, they're the same ones that put out that information. They didn't know this. But I said, if you would have communicated, I would have known this and you would have known that. And if you could have cleared the air with me, I would have fixed it. It wasn't me rebuking you. It's like, look, this looks legit because look where it came from. You know what I'm saying? A fucking supposed to be a very reliable source. Maybe he got fucked over. Anyways, and that's where a lot of things started to escalate with other people. You know, it was once I started interviewing people that people either wanted to have interview or they started to have issues with. You know, Snoop. People started to get mad a little bit. But I should be able to have the right to interview whoever I want. If no one else is rocking with me on things, why should I worry about them? You know what I'm saying? And I never went to disrespect anybody. And it seemed like certain people that had issues with them started to go after me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always liked, for instance, I have no issues with Cornejo or EBK at all. You know what I'm saying? He got caught making that video, but that's besides the point. You know, maybe he was up in his emotions. Maybe he was pissed off because, I mean, he had his own conflict going with old boy. But that doesn't affect me. You know what I'm saying? If everybody else is on that tip to where what I do shouldn't affect you, I can do what I want, then why can't I? People have different standards. Now you understand that's a similar situation of how I felt. You get what I'm saying? And before, I used to chop it up with him and everything, man. And you know, there was that little spiel. He got mad at me first. You know what I'm saying? And it was more towards Snoop, but I got thrown in the mix because it was good leverage to use for him. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't me that was trying to create that or talk bad on him or anything, because I'm not that type of dude. If I won't talk bad on people. Unless you talk bad upon me, I'll clap back. So I had that issue. You know, J-Hands made a video, and then me and J-Hands talked at that time, and it was very diffused. He handled it right. He says, you know what, that's your right, bro. I said, I get you too. I go, that's your guys' conflict. I go, I have nothing to do with it. I'm just fucking doing interviews. And he understood it. And so that escalated. So, you know, I'm not on bad terms or hate fucking EBK in any way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not tripping off it, you know what I mean? The little total situation. You know what I'm saying? That's the other one. You know what I'm saying? Why can't I interview him? Okay, any carnal or hermano knows exactly what I'm saying when I say this, because, you know, some of us were in positions to make decisions, run investigations. If he was you can't deem someone 9 fucking years later after you fucking let him walk a yard. Why was he not deemed back then? And so when I see and I hear all this stuff and there's different paperwork with different names, I wanted to look into it myself, because I was always a person who wanted to get information on what is fair and just, what is right, and what is properly out there. You know what I'm saying? Was this a situation where he was young and didn't know any better? Let me find out. So I did the interview, and that's the truth. Anybody who's a carnal hermano knows exactly what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And if not, then you have no business to be discussing it. You know what I'm saying? You have people who never held no fucking position or really hung out or put in any work. And that's a couple people who had issues with that when it's not their fucking position. If that's the case, there's about 100 cases that Carnales decided that were similar. Go talk to them now. Go voice your opinion to them, see what happens. You know what I'm saying? And I was totally within my rights and reasons and why I did that. If you're schooled, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you had a mono or carnal, you know proper R&I, research and investigation. Why was he not deemed no good back then and were able to walk the yard? Especially with how rigorous our investigational procedures. It gave me every reason to open that door to find out what happened. And like I said before, I still have no opinion because I don't know. Was he a youngster that didn't know any better? They were partying, he was young. Doesn't mean what happened was right, but that happens at that age sometimes, to where people they're drunk and they're not paying attention to what they're doing when they should. It doesn't justify none of it. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is sometimes that happens to where a 19-year-old, he doesn't know, he thinks the girl's 18, he believes it, and he makes a mistake because he doesn't do a further check. I don't remember being 18 saying, hey, I gotta see your ID before I can kick it. You guys tell me if that happened. Nowadays, you probably should do it. And so I looked at the part that where he walked on the yard, and that he was rapping forever, and it didn't become an issue till he had conflict with another rapper. And no one else was saying that, no one else was speaking that, but that's the truth. And it wasn't me coming out and supporting an individual, it was me giving him his fair due as an individual to hear his truth. Because if it was 100% accurate that he knew and this and that, I wouldn't fuck with the dude. You know what I'm saying? At all. But what I'm saying is the fucking truth. Any carnal or hermano would fucking acknowledge exactly what I'm saying. And if his decision was already made by a carnal, then there's nobody that can overturn that unless another carnal wants to open the case. But most carnals are not going to do that unless the carnal that made the decision falls out of favor. Then it can open the case. You know what I'm saying? Those are facts. No carnal is going to touch what another carnal did unless they're higher ranking and they're going to benefit from it financially. Then they may touch it. But other than that, they're going to leave it alone. You see what I'm saying? So I was in my rights with that. And for anybody to sit there and say different, then you're basically not acknowledging what the procedural process would have been. And that's what my whole point was. I'm looking at this from, if I was a convict's perspective, that's living the life. And it was the right thing to evaluate it and then give it an analysis. You know what I'm saying? No one can dispute that. The proper procedure of due process procedures and investigative procedures, he would have probably not been able to be deemed no good by anybody just based upon what I've heard and the age bracket and so forth. You know, and the fact is, it was 12 years old, and then it becomes an issue after you've been on 4 main lines. You know, it should have been an issue back then, is what I'm saying. It doesn't take no 12 years to run an investigation. It don't. You deal with it right then. So that's what a lot of things and all this new stuff and whatnot, that started the issues with drinking and drinking, and I never had no issues with them. They attacked me over that. But basically, that if they knew proper procedure, they would know that I'm right in everything that I did. Maybe in YouTube, popularity overrides everything. The consensus would be this. It ain't supporting nothing. It just shows to me that you maybe don't have the proper education to run an investigation and make a decision. And then it starts to look like this was personal because it was a 180 like this. Now all of a sudden you have all these issues of people talking bad, right? That now all of a sudden they're talking all high power or hardcore towards me like that. Like if this was a fucking stage move ready, you know what I'm saying? And they're aligning with that other dude with the mask, was basically the cause of all this shit, because it started back in December with fucking Gunner and then all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and me, I'm feeling like, fuck, I'm being attacked for what? Ain't nobody else would have told me anything fucking that I'm wrong in doing this. You know what I'm saying? What I did is my right. But it becomes a popularity thing, and people won't do things because they're worried about views. You know what I'm saying? And that's where the issue stays there. That's where all the shit talk and all this shit, and you know, I don't know. There's been certain writings that looks like 209's writings, and I don't know if someone's playing 209 by doing it or if it's him. You know what I'm saying? You know, and just to be truthful, that's the truth, because he has such a past history of doing things that you suspect it. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? And someone can mimic his writing, and I will acknowledge that. But you know what I mean? There's certain things that have been said that not many people knew but him. But I don't know. I can't sit there. I'm gonna be a realist. That's me being raw and real, not trying to fucking sugarcoat or put any fucking titles on anybody. I don't know. That's why it looks that way. And I went out of my way. I sent a message. Gunner knows this, to them saying, "Hey, look, I explained that, and I was respectful." And I showed Gunner. He goes, "Oh, I don't know why they don't get at you." Then Gunner was supposed to line up to where I talked to these dudes real quick. You know what I'm saying? And he said that, well, Bean's just rocking because 209 is his homeboy. And then fucking that's the one that started talking most shit. And then from there, I said, look, man, what are we going to do about this? And Gunner said he was gonna have a talk and all this stuff is drama. It's stupid. I go, man, I'm not instigating this. I don't care about drama if people want it, but where the fuck am I wrong in this? I go, you know. And he was supposed to set up a conversation. I even sent homeboy text, and that's the shit talking kept on continuing and ignored it. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I felt like, okay, well, why didn't you have this energy a long time ago then? You can't just be cool with the channel, be all this for a year, 17 months, see me in person. And that goes for the other person too, because out there in Sniz, because I've seen his little remarks too on people's pages. You got to be like that when you see me. You all see me. You didn't say nothing then. Anybody who knows about me, I'm not that dude, man. I'm not going to sit there and bow down to anybody on any level. And that's not making me tough. That's just who I am as a man. And I'm not going to disrespect you unless you disrespect me first. You know? And so that was kind of frustrating. And all this happens and shit. And, you know, then I got fucking him jumping in. You know what I'm saying? Who, you know, there's a lot of contradictions. Everybody showed me the contradictions. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that was for views or what, but I mean, I thought I was more disappointed in that one because he's a very likable dude when you talk to him. I hadn't been talking to him at all. I had one conversation because I said, you know what, I'm thinking about getting the ring if the money's worth it. You know what I'm saying? That was the extent of our conversation. And that was it. And I sent him all that 10 texts. Hell no. Show me the 10 texts I sent you. Because I never did. Maybe I sent you 1 or 2. You know? But other than that, there was no conversation. You know what I'm saying? And then everybody talks about the fucking, oh, like I was sitting on, I never sent no pictures of nobody like that. You know what I mean? I joked around with a homie, like homies be playing each other and shit. So I knew you want some motherfucker like that. I didn't even fucking act like I was going into my area, like I said before on the video. But people spun the narrative on that. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? I've seen fucking worse sex play in prison amongst homeboys, man. And we're not even supposed to get down like that. That's just what I'm getting at. It was not the extent that people tried to spin it the way he said it. You know what I'm saying? You know? So this is all the truth on a lot of these things, man. And to sit there and classify weirdo and whatnot, come on, man. Everything I stated right now is the exact truth of what happened. You know what I mean? You got people who just want to pick sides or jump into the mix or think that they have a voice in things when they don't know what really happened or why I felt about certain things. This is as elaborate as I can get, you know what I'm saying, where it's respectful. Now, there was something that dropped that had, you know what I'm saying, someone's voice on it recently. You know, I went to have it unlisted, you know, and that video says a lot. But that wasn't, if I wanted to put it out there just to clear my name and all that, I would. But I'm not. You know what I'm saying? And there's some questions behind that I'm not going to even go into. But if it goes any further, I'll go into it because I don't understand some of the statements I've seen in that motherfuckers knew. How you going to say that you didn't know? You were showing everything. Just like Toko was shown, just like Farmetta was shown, just like Mad Max was shown. A lot of people were showing this stuff because you know what? I know how the political spectrum of things go, and sometimes this YouTube stuff seems political. So I have to cover my ass, and that's what I did. When you have no support and you see people are building cliques in inner circles and you're seeing the effects of certain things, you start to cover your fucking ass because you see what people's agendas are because they're not showing it at face value. It's behind the scenes. It's certain actions you start to question, and that's what's happened. I've never been against anybody. And see, this is where people ask, like, why are people against me? I'm not saying that they are. It looks that way because you're supportive of this and that. You know, there's a lot of things, like I said, man. This is the truth of everything that happened. There's no fucking ill will on my part towards anybody. I was just always shocked that I wasn't given the same respect that I deserved, and that's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because I would have fucking backed up any one of their play when it came down to it. And that's where it all started, was me being supportive of Gunner when Triple OG was going after him. I was ready to fucking, I got you back, let's find out. You know what I mean? And he thought it was me. He got paranoid. You know what I'm saying? And that's the truth. You know, and like I said, my actions haven't been perfect in all this, but I do feel that there's some type of misrepresentation. I do think more voices could come out, and there's certain things why a lot of things didn't come out, because there was someone else in the mix that was pretty much highly involved that we didn't want to throw under the bus. But it comes to find out, we think that they were the main culprit behind all this. You know what I mean? You know, my whole You can go at me for fucking my past or the shit that happened with my ex-wife and whatnot. I can respect that. You can say what you want about that. I say what I want. I've always said that if you're not loyal to me, I don't have to be loyal to you. But all this other shit that's been happening on this stuff, there's been a whole lot of shit that just isn't right, man. And that should have been fucking cleared from the get-go. And a lot of people should know that. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, I'm talking about other channels. You know what I'm saying? Because I was there ready to rock and ride. But it was not reciprocated in return. Instead, I got fucking classified as a fucking troll and shit for a minute. You know, and much respect to all the channels. I don't know if these other channels got misled on this stuff either, if they don't know. But that's what I'm saying. It's hard not to speak on something that you don't know the truth of. I mean, whether this video helps me or not, I'm not lying about shit that I said. And there's certain things that I haven't put out there as far as that I don't feel is necessary, or I don't want to cast other channels in negative light. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not my intention here. My intention here is to fucking speak about what's going on. Why does all this stuff happen? Why have I felt a certain way? Why did all this shit happen the way it happened? You know what I mean? And there's a lot of many unknowns. And so I've confronted everyone about all this shit too. And no one has been straight about anything. I will say that part. Or they denied. And you know what? Whose name really doesn't come up that much? Was shit. Gunner's name really didn't come up in a lot of this shit. Except for the fucking picture part. That's about it. Other than that, it's been directed at other people, believe it or not. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to sit there and side or defend anything. Like I'm saying. And this goes for them. This is to the other channels. Evaluate everything I'm saying. Shit was handled wrong. Either it looks like either it looks like people were potentially trying to sabotage, or they just didn't want to be supportive when they should have been. Because if it would have been vice versa, I would have fucking rocked and defended anyone of knowing that fucking what really happened. I wouldn't have tried to fucking cast a negative light or allow that rumors, because those rumors were circulating. Where the fuck did they come from? There's only one place that picture could have came from, and those fucking rumors. You know what I'm saying? And that's the fucked up part, is that people fucking know what the truth about this. And that's where I've had all this issues and this conflict, and I've dropped subliminal lugs and whatnot, man. So, you know, I'm figuring let's get this all out there. You know what I'm saying? Much respect, but, you know what I mean? I'm not lying about anything I said in this. And I hope that people realize what my intentions were in all this. And this shit fucked me up a lot, man. It caused problems in my personal life. It caused a lot of, you know, that you guys don't know of. And I don't want to put that shit out there. And that's fucked up. That's the fucked up part, is that those that could have resolved a lot of this and helped me out, they were not there for me. And they should have been, because they knew the fucking truth. And if they question that, then fucking, I showed you everything. That's why there's people that do support me, because they seen every fucking thing. And I've been told to do certain things that I have not done, because I still try to take a higher road. You know what I mean? Anyways, this is it. This is what's going on with YouTube drama. This is why it's happened. And I don't know how anybody else would react if they had to go through what I was going through. And I had personal shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody else does in life. You know what I'm saying? It's where people start to only fulfill their own personal needs. And that's the fucked up part about it, is these are all people that have built their platforms. I helped them out along the ways to get the start. And I've always said that. Like Gunner, for instance. I got him to start. I'm the one that got him for an interview. And that planted the seed. He's done all his work on his own. And I've said that over and over again. I did help you get started, though. As far as I brought you into where you got the idea to go do what you did. Once you've seen the potential, you went with it. And much respect, he's built a good channel. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I did bring everybody in, pretty much. And a lot of them would not be if it wasn't through that link. And I'm not trying to brag or boast. I'm saying, like, look, have appreciation for that. I don't forget those that helped me along the way get to where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? PNG News Media. I wouldn't be here without PNG News Media. You know what I mean? Straight up. And I've said that over and over again. And that's where me and Tony's relationship started. You know? Anyways, I hope you guys understand this video. I hope it clears up a little bit. You guys have a positive day. I'm out.